All right.
Yeah.
I see the light coming on.
Is that Karen? Karen's there?
Yeah.
Are you going to give your, the restroom?
Am I going to let him what?
Talk about the restroom when it comes up.
You want to?
If you want to do it, you can.
Yeah, I don't care. I'll be here for questions if you want to present it. I'm going to depend on you to do it with all the pizzazz that I would be doing it.
Oh my gosh. And then I'm already tagging off on that.
No pressure or anything.
But are you really going to turn your back on the chair?
Well, I don't know whether to do it with you or the camera. There's more of them.
I beg your pardon.
I'm kind of halfway. How's that?
Okay, here we go. So this is the Design Review Board meeting of May 20th, 2021. Let's see. I need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Is there a second? Somebody wants to second it? Oh, come on. Somebody's got to second it.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I have a question before you vote.
Okay.
My concern is that both of these hearings have been modified since the hearing notice was published. And I wonder if that is a liability for us.
Which ones have been modified?
Both hearings have been modified. What we're being asked to approve or consider has been modified since the hearing notices were published. Castaways says pavers for a patio space. We're being asked to approve a gate as well.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The hearing for the school says replace an asphalt roof with a wood shingle roof. We're being asked to approve options. I have concern over the appropriateness of the hearing notice as related to what we're being asked to do.
Well, I can at least say that that you guys have the authority to allow that and grant that by the ordinance and by meeting rules. And then I would specifically state for the school that you don't even, from our requirements, you could consider, and you guys don't even have to do that, because quite frankly, if they went with the asphalt, which is the one that wasn't noticed, that is a minor. It's a like for a like in your guys' language. So, you know, that I think you're very safe on that one. They're great questions, Mark. On the other one, that's up to you guys whether you allow that kind of modification. What they would do, according to the DRB, they could come back and ask for that as a minor, which would then just go before Mike to make that determination according to our ordinance language. So I thought this was the better option. At least bring it before the full board and let you guys have a say on how you want to do it. Okay.
Okay, I'm fine as long as you're fine that we're not creating a problem.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, consideration of the minutes of April 15th. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I so move.
Or a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, is that everybody? Yeah. Okay, this is a public hearing request by this DRB 21-10, a request by Joshua Tuckman and Megan Miller to install a patio space to Castaways Restaurant landscape and site plan. Property is owned by the Joshua Tuckman is owned by Joshua Tuckman. I don't know if that should be Joshua Tuckman and Megan Miller, but anyway, and is located in the C1 Limited Commercial Zoning District at 308 and 316 North Fur. The application will be reviewed against the criteria found in Municipal Code Section 17.44.080 to 17.44.100 Design Review Criteria. Okay. Let's see. This is a quasi judicial hearing. And let's hear the staff report.
All right. This is, as you said, Joshua Tuckman on behalf of Castaways for DRB approval for the extension of the outdoor seating and patio area along the east facade of the existing structure. I won't go into the summary and background, but I'll just skip right to the approval criteria and some of the staff comments on that. I think the largest concern I had when I first saw it and wanted to verify it was the proposed alteration accounts for 1,500 square feet of the 10,000 square foot site. The siting of the outdoor patio area with landscape border provides a safely accessible service area for outdoor dining, extending and improving the makeshift outdoor dining arrangement currently in operation during the COVID crisis. The new stone paved surface will be more amenable to wheelchairs and table service. The low barrier stone wall and landscape border provides a semi-private spatial zone buffered from traffic and from the public walkway. The proposed raised planter boxes, which will run parallel to the driveway, will serve as another barrier to pedestrian cross traffic. And I think with these amendments also, I might add that I think that they can speak to this, but I think that's also another reason they want to put that barrier up. When I spoke with Josh out there, they were talking about solutions for getting that kind of cross pedestrian traffic. And I think that'll probably be one of the reasons for that. The site plan, such features has not been provided yet on those planter beds and seating or table arrangements, but thought they might want to speak to that. Although the previous lawn area had its own unique charm, it wasn't very practical for safe service and customers. Isn't practical. With the lingering effects of pandemic culture, we may see more outdoor options continue for the foreseeable future. Solar access and views from other sites are not impacted, and the paving complements the surroundings and meets the criteria. The other component down on 1744-120, I had received their hand-drawn landscape plan there. So I went out and walked the site, verified the measurements, and recalculated everything. And I came up with the proposed stone patio area will leave approximately 1,377.25 square feet of softscape area, accounting for nearly 14% of the 10,000 square foot lot. The stone pavers and other hardscape surfaces such as walkways and not including the parking area account for approximately 3,000 square feet or just over 30% of the lot. So providing nearly 45% in what we would calculate as hard and softscape landscape area according to 1744-120 requirements. I just go into a little bit of neither a seating plan or a planting plan were provided. There was a small planting list that says azalea, hino, I think crimson, and euonymus silver king variegated. It didn't have a plant count or anything. And I noted that you guys might want to specifically have that at least in the conditions of approval if you grant that. Landscape standards, specifically 1744-120G, plant material installation standards, and H, irrigation, and I, maintenance have not been addressed in the application materials However, irrigation hoses can be seen in the pictures that I had attached, and most of the plantings seem to be healthy and conforming to the city standards. The DRB, like I said, may condition approval on acceptable levels of improvement or a time frame for acceptable establishment and inspection. And that's all. If anybody has any questions.
Any questions from the members?
Yeah, I'm sorry if is this the second time this this for Castaways has come to DRB? I was not in the last meeting, so this is our first time.
No,
Great.
this would be the first one, yes.
Okay. I guess the one thing I was curious was just about the landscaping and vegetation. It seemed like they are putting planters and some vegetation, but not certain what it will be.
Yeah, so they have already instituted the landscape or the beddings, the landscape beds, and
Mhm.
those calculate out to be enough coverage for the softscape.
Okay.
They didn't have a kind of formalized plan for what they were going to use as kind of these raised planter beds, if you want to call it that. They're just kind of boxes. They look like maybe cedar boxes with where they could put potted plants in there and use those as kind of barriers from keeping people walking across the patio area where the tables would be located. So
Mhm.
I would think Josh can talk about that, or Megan, one of them could speak to that, or how that's going to work.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, any other members, questions? Okay, I will open the public hearing and ask, does anyone object to the jurisdiction of the DRB to hear the matter at this time? Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias? Has any commission member had any ex parte contact or made a site visit?
Site visit.
Site visit.
Site visit.
Drive
Okay. Okay. We've heard the staff report. And any additional correspondence? We have one letter from the folks next door. Is that right, Katie?
We did a Mike, and we also got a favorable email from Jim Litherland that came in this week that I think that's in the amended packet.
Okay. Okay. So I'll open the public hearing. The pertinent criteria to be considered noted in the staff reports and listed in the criteria sheets posted on the meeting page of the city's website. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed towards that criteria or other criteria in the comprehensive plan or municipal code, which the person testifying believes to apply to the decision. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements or evidence sufficient to afford the decision maker and the parties an opportunity to respond to the issues precludes appeal based on that issue. Prior to the conclusion of the initial evidentiary hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony, arguments, or evidence regarding the application. The DRB shall grant such requests by continuing the public hearing or leaving the record open for additional written testimony, arguments, or evidence. Is there a presentation by persons who testify shall first receive recognition from the chair, state their full name and mailing address, and if appearing in a representative capacity, identify whom they represent. Presentation by the applicant, please.
That's myself.
Hey, Megan.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
My first Zoom meeting ever. There we go. Probably the only person during the pandemic that didn't do a Zoom meeting. Okay, shall I just start by presenting? Shall I answer the questions I was hearing during this? And I'm sorry, I'm also working in the restaurant, so I was listening as well as I could, but I think I heard everything.
Just whatever you want to say, or however you want to start out.
Sure. So essentially, we had our lawn space outdoors. Yes, it looked nice. It was very impractical. We had a really hard time, especially with ADA issues. Certainly it was accessible. So we were within legal rights, but this is much more functional. We do foresee that outdoor seating will continue to be a thing. It certainly allows for us to have a little more space. It allows for people to feel more comfortable as we are operating at a 25% capacity. We are finding a lot of people still uncomfortable dining indoors. So having an additional and expanded outdoor space is definitely a beneficial thing. It allows us to keep that 6-foot spacing, give people, a little more peace of mind until this passes. And that is questionable as to when that really is for the majority of the public, as we are seeing things opening up a bit. And most people are seeming amenable, but as a restaurant owner and operator, it's not everyone. And 25% still is quite limiting on us. So we were just trying to find ways to we thought, beautify the property, beautify the corner, keep the vegetation natural. The raised planter boxes, we intend to use, again, as you were mentioning, as ways to sort of keep cross traffic. That's the first part of my case, I guess. As to, I think Jen had questions specifically about vegetation. We've tried to keep it within the natural, rhododendrons, azaleas, the variegated plants, things that, as we understand, will grow to, 4 feet tall. So they're not creating an entire barrier. They still look natural. They still have, some natural flow to them, but they do create some, shield to the street and to the sidewalk and cross traffic, et cetera. I'm trying to think what else. Irrigation is in place, as he mentioned on his site visit. So I think that answers the questions I initially heard. And then I'm open to any additional. And I'm sorry, may I also interject? I know Josh was really the first point person in regards to this. He is the only one cooking right now, so I can't really get him on the computer, but if I need to, I will do my best to go grab him.
Oh, okay, thanks. Any other comments? Any other presentation by proponents? Anybody wants to speak in favor of the application? None. Okay.
Not that I have. I mean, I have plenty. I just wasn't able to round any of them up because they knew I'd be in service. So
Okay.
Should we need them in the future, I can certainly find them.
Okay. Any presentation by opponents?
None that I have.
And we haven't had any by email or mail.
No.
Okay.
No.
Any staff response?
No, just like I said, I think they've responded at least to the everything but the planter bed question I think that Jen had, but I don't know if you guys have any questions on that or the new gate.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I did fail to touch on that point. That was something we had been talking about. We have had people hit in our parking lot, in the driveway. We have had people back into other people. It's been an issue over the many years that we've been here. So our thought was, in an effort to also try to prevent that cross pedestrian traffic, that way there's a clear in and a clear out around the sidewalk and up the stairs, but the gate would still be accessible for ADA people, for them to be able to get through, but in a more safe manner for everyone, was our thought process on that.
Now, can you explain the structure of the gate?
Yes, so it would essentially go just across the front of the driveway. It's only 4 feet tall, so it's not an obstructive looking gate. It's quite lovely. They were constructing one actually up on the north end, and that's what caught our eye and thought, okay, that's not putting up a whole gate or a whole fence and, blocking everyone and everything out. It just seemed like an appropriate way to achieve some of the things we were trying to achieve without being too obtrusive.
We have a picture of that that we can put up.
So I think that was the picture of the house, the White House on the north end. Yeah, I was confused why that picture was in there, but that was because that's the gate. It looks like that. That's what you're going for.
That's correct. It is a smaller version. I mean, yes, a smaller version of that, but that essentially is the look that it would be.
It was in the supplemental information that came
Oh,
out on
the
Friday.
wood gate there.
Yes, correct. So with, obviously without the fencing edge
I
part.
have to hold it in front of the camera.
That's all right. That's all right. I think we get the picture. 4 feet high, a cedar fence,
It's wood.
the width of the driveway, which is 8 feet.
Correct.
And it opens for ADA accessibility.
Correct, as well as, you know, vehicle deliveries, et cetera, things like that. So, but primarily ADA was our thought process. So protecting the
Okay.
people that are already in here, but we can get the people in that we need to.
Okay,
What
Okay.
opens the gate?
It just has a latch, so no electronic or anything like that. It's just a traditional gate latch.
Yeah, it's in the
So-
addendum there. It is a quite non-aggressive gate.
That
So
was
if a ADA person were to arrive, how would they get the gate open to drive in?
to get the gate open to drive in.
Yeah,
They can certainly get out of their vehicle and use it. We intend to put signage on the front saying that it's ADA accessible. That way it's clear that if you're attempting to pull into the driveway, you know, please feel free to utilize the space. We're always available by phone. We're always on site. So we're always happy to, you know, if we see somebody pulling in, we are always there to address what they may or may not need from us. Yeah, yes, these are good questions, but the ADA accessible on the front of the gate was certainly the most prominent thing that was in our intention in terms of it being aware that it is accessible.
okay, so there's like
No
a
lock
half
or
a dozen,
anything.
there's
I'm
a
sorry.
half a dozen spaces or so back in there.
Yes, correct.
Is
5,
that your
it's 5.
parking?
I'm sorry,
Pardon? Is that your customer parking?
that is primarily customer parking, yes.
So anybody that wants to park in there would have to have somebody come and open the gate.
Okay, so therein lies another issue because we are intending to expand some of the seating into the parking lot area. That was part of the reason we thought a gate would be a good idea. But it would allow for enough space for people to get through that would be utilizing it for ADA purposes.
And that's the only entrance and exit.
To the parking lot, correct.
And so people coming in and leaving will be opening the gate.
So we don't generally allow public parking in there. We just have been allowing ADA parking because of these issues that
Mm.
people have been hitting people. So we have had it closed off for many months. So the only people coming in and out would be people utilizing it for ADA access.
Okay, that makes sense.
Sorry, I was not clear on that.
but Megan, but pre-COVID and post-COVID, that's your only parking. Is that, I mean, was that a requirement that you have that parking when you opened up?
So when we opened, it was not owned by us. So that is something I probably should have asked Nancy Ketchison, since we've now purchased the property. It is a kind of a gray area because of the fact that it is zoned residential commercial and it is a residential property as well as a commercial property. So people residentially park in the same lot. So I don't know if that's a requirement, and that's probably something I would need to look into code-wise. It's not something we were told was a necessity, but again, I've never specifically been told I would have to look into that.
That's a question for Jeff as well. I mean, you know, Jeff, you want to chime in here?
Yeah, I think I think it's 450 square feet of gross floor area, I think requires one parking space for that commercial part. But like you said, that residential would require 2 as well. So it's going to require a combination of the, 2 plus whatever square footage the gross floor area of the restaurant is. Interior, not the patio area.
Okay, so we're at.
Well, that's kind of a zoning question, not a DRB question, but
Yeah,
it seems like you're, it's going to be pretty difficult for people to to access your parking lot if they want, even if they're not ADA, to get
Sure.
into the back of your space there. It's just, it seems awkward.
Yes, I understand. Sorry, I'm taking notes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I would,
understand.
I would propose you, table the parking issue, or the gate issue, because like you said, that complicates matters, especially for, if at least 3 of those we know are going to be for public, then that means that, then, like you said, somebody's got to get out and open that latch, undo the gate, and then close it. And then how does the new person get in, with, I think it just complicates how that's going to be utilized.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so that's not our bailiwick. We'll move on.
We'll take that off the table.
For the patio.
Yeah. So, no opponents. Okay, I'll close the public hearing
Mike,
and
sorry, one question. We're still able to discuss the patio?
now I'll close the public hearing.
Oh,
and we
okay,
can
gotcha.
Discuss it. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, go ahead, Jen, if you want to start off.
Well, I just had a question about, since it will be, it sounds like an enhancement and improvement to that corner, which is great and would probably look beautiful when all said and done. But I'm also curious about lighting. With more seating out there, will you have to install lighting? Or I guess, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar what time business actually closes.
Sure.
but-
So obviously at this point, it's intended to be used primarily, I'm sorry if I cut you off. It's intended to be primarily used seasonally. So it is light until around 9, 8:30 or 9. And so by the time we're moving out of season and it's raining more, we're not asking to do any overhead or anything like that right now. So there is exterior lighting off of the building that's already in existence. And then we generally put, some sort of a candle or something on the tables, but it is daylight until we generally are done by 8 or 9 at the latest during
Right.
dinner service.
Okay, and as it gets dark, I've seen that exterior light that's already on the building that will just
Right,
kind of.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, anybody else? Any other commission, board member want to chime in?
So this is a cart after the horse hearing because the thing is already installed. Is that correct?
That's correct. Well, I'll make a couple of comments just from my limited knowledge of landscaping. I think it would be. I think the shrubs that are up there. I think it looks like they're 3 feet apart, 3 or 4 feet apart. Presumably, those are going to grow together. Landscaper knows what he's doing. I think it would be nice to have a couple, maybe 3 Japanese cherries, like the ones that we're looking at in the photograph, planted around the corner, around the curve, to kind of continue that theme. This is a very it's a very prominent corner of town. Everybody that's driving into town drives past the corner. And there's been a lot of there's been an effort actually to try to plant a lot of Japanese cherries on the old school property, and on the Public Coast property. They've got a couple of them, and it's kind of a theme. I don't know if it's an official theme, but it's been done over the years. I think the ones in the school grounds have been there for, as long as I've been here, 40 years, I guess. So, I mean, it's not a huge expense. I don't think. I mean, the trees are a couple of $100 each. And I just think it would be nice to have, you know, 2, maybe 3 coming around that corner. And it looks like there's plenty of space, you know, to accommodate them. The blooming one that we're looking at is a Mount Fuji, which, you know, if you wanted to be consistent, that would be a nice choice.
Sure.
Mhm.
So, I don't know.
I don't know about anybody else, but I can't see what you're looking at.
It's in the packet.
The
It's in
original packet. Mhm.
Photograph of the packet.
Not
That's
on the addendum,
Yeah,
Figure 1.
figure 1, yeah.
you didn't pick up your packet, Mark, did you?
Yes, okay. You're looking at figure 1. Is that
Right.
correct?
Yes. Yes.
Right,
Okay. I'm on the same page.
all right. Literally and figuratively. So I'm just throwing it out there, so.
No, that makes absolute sense. You know, we are wanting to keep in the theme and vegetation and look of Cannon Beach as much as we can, and trying to, you know, go with natural colors and similar vegetation. And I can understand why a few trees would certainly add to, and would add a little bit of extra, you know, barrier between the patio and the street as well. There's various reasons why I can see that would be a logical thing. And again, not a huge issue. We already have a landscaper in our pocket that seems to know what he's doing, so we have that going for us. But yes, makes complete sense to us.
Perfect.
Any other board members want to agree or disagree?
Nope, I would just pretty much concur with what you were saying, Mike. I think it's a good corner.
Very important.
Yeah.
Okay,
So as I understand where we are, conditions we might place on this would be the addition of 2 to 3 of these cherry trees. Further conditions concerning proving out the irrigation system. I don't know, we haven't done that, what that would look like. And I guess, you know, final replacement as it is of the planter boxes. I assume they're going back kind of where they were, but those would be my 3 points, other than saying, hey, it's looking nice.
I think the irrigation it's a drip irrigation system. I'm sure it's you know, it's appropriate for what they've got there.
It seems to be working quite well. It's been installed, and everything is thriving and growing, and so it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. If you wanted information about who installed it, etc., I'm happy to provide that. And then yes, the final on the planter boxes, they would be moving back and lining the edge of the patio space on both edges, again, creating that kind of less cross pedestrian traffic effect. And we're working on the flowers for that. Again, geraniums and things that are native and common in the area are what will be moving into that space. I'm sorry, we have guests arriving behind me. Yes, so to answer your question, yes, on the planter box is moving back, and yes, we feel that irrigation system, it's been in place and has been doing exactly its job. So drip system as Mike mentioned.
Okay, so I think I'll close the public hearing. I've actually closed the public hearing, but I'll ask for a motion on the landscape design. I don't think we have I don't think we have to rule on the site plan. Maybe we do. But the landscape design is really the crux of the issue here, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I'd ask for a motion to approve the landscape design with whatever conditions.
Yeah, approved with the conditions.
I would move we approve the landscape design as presented with the condition of the addition of at least 2 cherry trees and excluding any approval of the gate until parking, that will be handled as a separate matter once parking is resolved.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
All right, any other discussion? Okay, let's, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right, thank you, Megan.
I thank you all very much for your time.
Okay,
Have a great
Welcome.
night.
Thanks.
I'm back to work now.
all right.
Thank you.
Is my order ready yet?
Yeah, come on by. I'll have it ready.
Yeah, well, I'm in Seattle, so that
Okay.
won't.
Well, next time you're here, come see us. We'd love to have you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thanks, Megan.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to DRB 2111, request by Jeff Adams on behalf of the city of Cannon Beach to replace the roof of the Cannon Beach Elementary School building. The property is owned by the city of Cannon Beach, is located in the institutional zoning district at 268 Beaver Street. The application will be reviewed against the criteria found in municipal code, section 17.44080 to 17.44100 design review criteria. Okay. This is a quasi-judicial hearing. Does anyone object to the jurisdiction of DRB to hear the matter at this time? Does any commission member believe he or she has a conflict of interest or personal bias? Has any commission member had any ex parte contact or made a site visit? Site visit. Okay, staff
Visit.
report, Joe.
Okay, and I'll just go ahead and give you the brief summary of this. You know, the school building was built back in the 50s and 60s. And recently the city purchased the property from the school district, and they are looking to put a roof on the structure while they decide on what really they want to program it as and what it will eventually end up being. But it's receiving damage daily, especially during the rainy seasons. It had some significant leaks, and we've done all the patchwork we can do without, you know, really the whole place just becoming a tear down. And so we're seeking to do a roof as soon as possible. The city council has they've contracted a engineering firm to look at the roofing, and they brought back various materials, which I put in the addendum, and then also the shake. So we have pictures of that. We have the actual samples on site, but really it's just some composite samples. The last city council meeting, they went over it again. They looked at the various samples, and now they've asked for more of those renderings of different colors. And so I don't think they're quite set on which way they want to go. And so what they're asking for is approval of the various materials with your recommendations on what you all prefer. But from my sense, at least from the last meeting, was that they're going to price them both, get pricing on the asphalt and weigh that against the shake, and also how long the warranties and how long they're expected to last of each, and do a little comparison on both of those before they make the decision. Like I said to Mark's question, I think Mark raised a great point that really this could be under our code a DRB minor. In fact, the shake even could, but since they do move to the shake and they're asking if they did move and choose that one, that wouldn't be a true like for like, so that we'd be switching that out. So I think that the safest bet is for us to kind of look at materials, approve them if we like them, if we think they're appropriate, and then give them suggestions on which direction to go.
Okay, so you are the applicant.
I am the
Yeah.
applicant. Yeah,
You're the applicant and the staff person, so doing double duty.
and I wouldn't really add anything to my, maybe Karen may have some other if I missed anything, but really that's what I would ask for in my proponent speech.
Agreed, Jeff.
What is the roofing material now?
It's asphalt.
Shingle.
Yeah, asphalt.
And do we have any information from a roofer on whether or not the shakes could be, the wood shingles would be? I guess there's a price difference, obviously, but with the curve of the building, I just was wondering if that's a normal application of a wood shingle.
Can be. There is a seam at the top of the roof that they have to apply. It's like an added piece. But from that point down.
Exactly. See if she needs another beverage.
I'm sorry, that's what I working on. I thought you heard me.
Megan's still on.
Yeah. But from that point down, there'd be no problem putting the shakes. It's just a lot more expensive.
So I think they're cedar.
Well, it's 6:30 right now. It's 10 minutes
Great
behind.
term. Is there any way to,
Can you get it muted?
I don't have the controls, Jeff does. Jeff, can you mute?
Who needs to mute? I don't,
Megan, can you mute Megan?
oh, Megan. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good,
Yes,
let me find it. Okay.
all right. I think the proper term is shingles, not shakes. Shakes are thicker,
Okay.
So the
Cedar shingles.
shingles are thinner and have a lower profile, but
Okay.
it's still, I think they're great. Let me go through the litany here. Call for public testimony, pertinent criteria to be considered, noted in the staff report, listed on the criteria sheets. Testimony, arguments, and evidence must be directed toward that criteria. Failure to raise an issue accompanied by statements of evidence, blah, blah, blah. Prior to the conclusion of the initial hearing, any participant may request an opportunity to present additional testimony. And persons who testify, et cetera. So is there a presentation by the applicant other than Jeff? Karen, did you want to say anything more? Okay,
No, I think they're really just leaning towards the presidential style asphalt shingle based on last night's meeting.
oh, that was the decision last night?
That seemed to be the direction they're leaning, yeah. The cedar shingle is just so much more expensive, and the longevity of its lifetime didn't compare to the asphalt, so I think it just made it an easy decision to
Yeah.
kind of eliminate that one.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be a nice look to see cedar, but
But they can do it on the end caps. I think they mentioned doing something like that down the road, but right now it's just to try to get the buildings dried in and stop the water damage during the rain.
But in figure A2, the one that has A2 up in the corner, there's no difference between the shingles on the side and the shingles on the roof, and so there's no real interest to the building that way. I mean, I
Yeah.
think having a different material actually creates a little bit more visual interest.
Yeah, and I don't think that one was really meant to be a recommended design per se. I think we could do a lot better than that. I think it was just to give you an idea what those asphalt shingles would look like.
That's why you do renderings, right? It gives us an idea of what it would look like. And so in comparison, this other one that doesn't have a number on it,
Yeah,
looks like it has the asphalt and the cedar shingle, and so that looks a little bit more interesting that way to me.
mhm.
Well, I mean, if the council doesn't want to spend the money for it is our preference. I mean, that's kind of the decision that made, right? I mean, they'd probably say, well, if it's 3 times the cost of asphalt shingles, we just can't do it. But I don't have a problem with asphalt, they're architectural asphalt shingles, which are like raised and they have a nice appearance.
Right.
But I also like the idea of doing the end walls, the south and the north walls with cedar.
I agree.
That'll be the upcoming conversation about what they do with the rest of the building, and that seemed to be the consensus.
Yeah, they're going to try to get it done this summer, which is going to be a challenge.
Now, right now, it's just the roof to try to dry it in, and then the rest of the building can be done down the road. But yeah, that's why we're trying to get the decisions made so we can get it on before the rainy season starts. It'll be close.
So if the group was looking toward recommending, we call it architectural comp, that's what I used to call it, maybe we should focus on color, a recommendation about color, because there are different colors over there on the wall. You know, the gray black versus the sort of brown colors.
So where you see the arrows is what the engineers had recommended to council. And I think they were leaning towards something a little bit lighter.
Lighter?
Mm-hmm. And, but they didn't make a final decision on that.
Does anybody else, any other members want to chime in on this?
I,
Go ahead, Mark.
I had a question in reading all the reams of stuff that Jeff sent us. Jeff sent us a lot of stuff, and there was discussion about removing or not removing arches. And I'm trying to figure out if that was part of the roof.
Yeah, I don't know, Mark. All I know in this request is just for the texture of the roof. I'm sorry I gave you guys all that, but I wanted you guys to, it was kind of to get you updated on the project and where they're going, as well as let you guys have that material if you wanted it.
I get 2 things out of reading the reams of report. One is that if you're going to do a roofing job, you need to add insulation, which isn't there now apparently. And secondly, there's some structural deficiencies in the support of the roof that should be corrected at the same time the roofing is done. But I don't see any reference to those 2 things being part of what we're looking at. From the standpoint of the roof material, I think the asphalt shingles make sense, not only from a cost standpoint, but also being more resistant to fire. And I think weathering, because you're in kind of an exposed location there. When I drive through town, I see lots of examples of houses that are replacing all or parts of their wood shingles due to dry rot or weather damage. So I think the asphalt will stand up better in the long run.
So I'm not sure that insulation is in the plans. Is that,
The only thing that's in that plan concerning the roof is the seismic retrofitting has to be done at the same time as the roof on one of the buildings. The classrooms can be done after the fact, but with the gym, it has to be done before you put the roof on it, just because of its shape and construction. And so that would be done at the same time to put the roof on. Otherwise, you're tearing the roof off later to do the seismic.
yeah. But I didn't see in the roof strengthening construction, I didn't see any mention of insulation. I think it's going to continue to be an uninsulated structure.
Yeah, for the gym.
Since it's a gymnasium. Okay, so anybody want to make a motion? Architectural, is there a motion to approve the architectural design of the roof and with conditions? A recommendation of the type of shingle?
Can we talk about it a little bit more?
Oh, sure.
So there's 4 different colors here that have arrows pointed at them. This one says designer shingles, and it has one called, it's spelled MOIRE black and then cinder black. And black is more on the gray side and cinder black is on the darker side. And then on this sheet, there's a luxury shingle called Autumn Blend, which has a tiny brown fleck in it along with the grays and blacks. But over on this side, it's called luxury shingles, but presidential shape, right? So these have thicker pieces, thicker reveal, a lot more texture. I'm really curious about the longevity of this in the wind compared to this more standard architectural comp. So
the folks on the camera can see, I'll bring this over here.
okay, I'll put this in the room.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
So the one that the council was leaning more towards is, I'll go behind. The one the council was leaning more towards is called the presidential shingle, the presidential. This is a thicker, more substantial shingle. The life expectancy of this would obviously be longer.
Can't hear them all of a sudden.
I lost audio.
Hey, Mike and everyone over there, we
Can you
can't.
hear now?
Oh,
Can you
now
hear
we can.
now?
Yep.
Okay.
So I think just because this was a more substantial shingle and would obviously have a longer life, and the price between the two, that's what they had asked us to come back with, is the price between the 2 or the 3, including the cedar and the warranty. That would help them kind of make their selection. So the price difference was relatively small. And so they just felt it was a more wise decision to go with the.
And that has a better warranty than the flatter one.
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
No, they're heavier and
Yeah, they're heavier.
Yeah, heavier and
they have a
Yeah.
less shake
they
like.
just last longer.
Yeah, I wondered if this could get caught, but it's really sturdy.
No, it
Actually,
had all
it's
the.
really thick. Yeah.
The wind resistance and all
Yeah,
those kind of
cool.
things. So.
Yeah.
Now that, like I say, this is what the engineering or roof folks had recommended, said this would be a nice color if you're going to stay something similar to what's on there. But obviously that's, for you guys to decide.
So this one over on the left says Autumn Blend, and it has a little bit of a brown fleck in it. And this one is called Shadow Gray, and it is shades of gray and black. The ones where the arrows are pointing down. Can you guys hear that?
So council had asked me last night what my opinion was, not that it mattered. I said, the only thing that I would ask them to keep in mind is on the one side of the building, the shingles come all the way down to the bottom of the building and it meets black asphalt.
Yeah.
So if you're going to go really dark with something like this, or had they gone this direction and they went here, you have a black.
Black.
Asphalt, and it can be very harsh.
Yeah.
So if we went the direction where we put the cedar on the ends and,
The cedar might go well with
going
that.
lighter could be very nice, and then you add your trees and the gardens and the landscape, and it could be quite nice.
See that? Can you guys hear that?
Do I hear?
Yeah, we can't really see very good, but I think we understand. And I think that what they've asked us for is the option to seek bids, at which time there'll be a final approval.
Well, I mean, they wanted to hear our recommendation on the coloration too. And I think that, you know, this would give the brownish color would give the appearance of cedar, which would be, you know, nice.
I would recommend going with a lighter color from the standpoint of maybe absorbing less heat in the summer. You're going to use this facility for large groups of people, and it's not air conditioned, I don't think. It's going to get pretty darn warm in there. So if we can keep the solar impact at a minimum with a lighter colored roof, I think would be a good idea.
So does somebody want to make a motion?
I'm not sure what we're asked to approve at this point.
I think what we're asked to approve is cedar or comp. And if comp, what color, basically?
And the thicker one.
And the reveal or.
I'm sorry if I missed this, but was it considered what the other roofs are like in the general area, just for color?
I didn't get what she said.
She wanted to know if we thought about the general color of the other roofs in the area.
I don't know how, you know, we didn't take an inventory.
Yeah, I think there's just such a variety in the downtown. A lot of them are flat in the commercial areas. And so that's a difficult thing to answer, I think.
Okay.
Make a motion.
Okay,
I move that we approve replacement of the roof with architectural comp, the thicker of the two choices, and leaning toward a lighter color, perhaps with a brown fleck in it.
Mayor, second.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All right. Very good. Thank you. So we're moving on to work session. I guess this is you, Karen. We're going to talk about the Midtown public restroom design proposals.
You want to kick it off, Jeff, or you want me?
You can go ahead, Karen, if you like. You know, I would say that there's been questions since the city council. This also came before the city council, and Karen brought it before them, I think, this past week. And there were questions about the site plan. That's what the addendum that I've added at the map of the area and the various sewer and water lines. And so Karen can also speak to that. But as Karen will tell you, and I think everyone there knows, we have so few public restrooms in the area. We really need to expand those Midtown. We've done in the past, I think, year or two, Karen, the upgrades to other public restrooms down on Second. Now we want to upgrade these, and we wanted to bring this before the DRB to show them this kind of two-floor scenario just because of that limited footprint. And so I'll let Karen talk about the rest of it.
So this bathroom is almost 45 years old, and it's in its original state with the exception of the routine maintenance that we have to do on this. And as Jeff mentioned, the budget committee afforded me budget dollars to upgrade Les Shirley and both of the Second Street bathroom fixtures inside. And we did not include Midtown because of this particular location, we are in dire need of more fixtures inside. We rent porta potties to put out front every single year because there's long lines that form at this bathroom because it is the only one in Midtown. And as you know, Midtown has grown in the number of businesses that have existed there. And so we need a bigger bathroom. We're landlocked on that particular position or spot because our Pacific main pump station is behind it. So we have a major force main that runs alongside that pump station or that bathroom. So we can't expand out. There is some room to expand, but not enough that gains us any additional fixtures inside. So the local architect that did this mock-up for me said your best bet is to do a two-story bathroom that we've seen in other high tourist areas where you're landlocked. And he said you can put your ADA bathrooms at the bottom and put your additional bathrooms upstairs. You double your fixtures. And in this case, we got a contractor's estimate so that I could talk to the budget committee about it. And he said, basically the downstairs is a remodel if you don't ask me to blow out the wall and try to expand the footprint, and we're adding a second story. And so the estimate came in at less than 200,000, and we double the fixtures. We can upgrade them to the existing stainless steel, which enabled us to reduce our maintenance budget significantly. And so I'm very anxious to be able to do this at this location. We would keep the same landscape that's there as far as how much of it we have. We don't disturb the artistic bench that was donated to the city for that location. So it's kind of a win-win if we can go up with it. And of course, this is a mock-up design, so you'd have your cedar shakes and your typical village look of the building. It would just be two-story. It is below the height maximum that's here for Cannon Beach. We didn't need to go as high as we could have to achieve what we're trying to do at this location. So like I say, I think it's kind of a win-win all the way around.
I have a question.
Sure.
I was just curious, on the second floor, they still kept the same floor plan with the ADA, the larger, is that to maybe accommodate?
Council mentioned that as well, and I got a hold of the architect and I said, we don't have an elevator, how it's, he says, it's not an ADA stall. He said, it's that size, but he said it's a mother stall where they can go in and change the diaper or have a toddler with them that they can go into the stall with them.
Great.
So he said, we make it the same size as an ADA, but it's not an ADA stall. Someone that is disabled could use it. If you got upstairs and wanted to have a spot up there, he said, but it's really meant to be a mother's stall.
And a father's, they're on both sides, I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, let's.
So we'll do some, some tweaking and whatnot, but it'll be pretty minor. This is a pretty good layout of what we could do there.
Even Safeco Field has diaper changing stations in men's bathrooms, so.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's a good call right there.
We were going to try to do a family bathroom at this location. I asked the architect if there was a way that we could do that, and he said not without blowing out the bottom footprint. Right. So if we ever have a chance to remodel one of our other bathrooms, we could make a shot at it over there.
But this is kind of next best, right? I mean, allowing a larger stall in both of them.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Would you like a motion?
Oh, sorry, yeah, please.
I don't know if we need one on that because it's just.
This is a work, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you need a motion. We just wanted to bring it before you guys so to get your all's feedback and approval And, you know, I always said if they put a few more windows in, it'd probably be the best view from our urinal in probably the US is the way I see it.
Well, the main thing is for you guys to tell me if there's anything that you see here that is of concern to you or that you'd like to see us consider that we haven't put in the cosmetic drawing so far. That's the main thing. Or if you had any concern about it being two-story in that particular location.
Have you noticed people, big lines, waiting to go into the bathroom over there?
Even during COVID, when we had the influx of people come here, we did not get porta potties because last year the city incurred quite an expense. We had to reimburse the company that brought the porta potties out because they were vandalized. They not only were spray painted and tagged, but people put trash inside the toilet area so they would not come dump them. And so we had quite a mess on our hands. So we did not order them this year.
Good. Okay.
And I don't plan to order them until we can do something about it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for the presentation, and we'll look forward to seeing the final plans.
Excellent.
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome. You guys have a good night.
Go to the order. Anybody want to bring up anything else?
Hey, Mike, the only thing I had, Mike, was that one I'd put in the, about the Mariner Market, that asking to put that cooler on the rear. I brought that and put that in the materials because I didn't know if we were going to have to put it in the walkway between the library and the Mariner Market, but he said that he'll find a space around the rear. So if you guys are okay with that, and Mike, you're okay with that, what we'll do is maybe just meet him over there and show him where we'd like to put it, okay?
Right. Yeah, I don't know if it's, it's in danger of being hit by a truck or anything when it's in that narrow driveway. But since it's only 15 inches, do you have a picture? Did everybody see that? So I really did not want to see that the cooler in the library landscaping bed.
Yeah, and I think we can avoid that easily. We'll just meet him over there and put it. He said it can be bracketed, mounted onto the building, not stick out more than 18 to 20 inches. So that sounds good.
All right. Very good. Anything else anybody wants to bring up?
I had one last thing. We're going to be doing the open house for the transportation system plan coming up June 3rd. There'll be a webinar. We're going to be getting all the materials out in the coming week. And so hopefully anyone who wants to just do the online, there's an online kind of interactive one that you can do if you can't make the webinar, but we would love to have any participation and to get the word out there that we'll be doing that. Okay.
Jeff, who's the firm that you chose to do the work?
It's Parametrics.
Okay. All right. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
We need a motion to sign the orders is the only thing.
Motion to sign the orders.
So
We'll move.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Aye.
Bye-bye.
They were in members in Chicago.